setting up OneNote as a way to manage your gradebook. I'm going to use Donna Guidance for this tutorial. First thing we need to do when you start with OneNote is you need to set up your OneDrive account. So if you don't have a OneDrive account already, and I actually have two. I have my Hotmail account and I have my OSCCT account set up in OneDrive, which is basically office.com or outlook.com. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to start off with the student's name. So I'm going to, after we get signed in, which I'm already signed in, then we go to File, go to New, and where it says Notebook Name, we're going to go ahead and put Donna in here. And I don't usually use a last name unless it's a name that's more common, and then I'll go ahead and use the last name. But for this one, I'm just going to put G for Guidis. I don't know how to say it. And then I'm going to click on Create Notebook. Okay, now the first thing that comes up, you see this right in the middle, it says Invite People, Not Now. You have a choice. And for my students, I go ahead and invite the student. Okay, now when I invite the student, I'm saying you may view your gradebook whenever you want by clicking a link. So I'm going to put the student's email address in here. And I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, so if it sounds like I'm quiet, it's because I'm concentrating on other things. And you can see I can't spell today either, so join the club, gang. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm going to put an explanation of what this is. And I usually tell them not to lose the link because they can use this link all the way through their course. Okay, what it's going to do, now you notice on here it says can edit, and then we've got another one that says can view. For the student, I'm going to allow the student to edit, because if they need to make a change or post their time on their timesheet, they can do it right here in OneNote. So once I'm done here, I go ahead and click Share. And it takes a moment, and now you see down here it says diguidis@gmail.com. Well, she just got an email and a link to her gradebook. So once we get it set up, I'm going to go back to their page. Now it says Donna G up at the top left hand corner, and right to the right of that it says New Section. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rename this one, and I'm going to put syllabus here. And then I'm going to come over here and click inside the white area, and I'm going to pull up the syllabus, which is, I saved it, where is it? It's right here. I'm going to drag and drop this from, and I'm taking this right off the S drive. I'm dragging it right in here. And now I get this box that says Attach File, Insert Spreadsheet, Insert a Chart or Table. I'm going to go ahead and insert the spreadsheet. Now what that does is it writes the spreadsheets right to your OneNote. and it also attaches the file. So here we are with the OneNote. So we've got typing 10 key, we've got this, their passwords, the basic stuff for this. Now I can delete some of these pages because they don't need it, but they do need this. So now they've got their syllabus right here on their OneNote, so they can view this anytime they want. So if I want to delete something, like they don't need to see this page, I can actually click this one and delete it, and it takes it off. And then I'm going to scroll up again, and I'm going to name this. And there we have it. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do for her is, because she's a distant student, I'm going to go ahead and insert her timesheet. So in here I'm going to put timesheet. Now I've already made templates for the timesheet, so I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to go to Page Templates, and Page Templates again. And over here where it says My Templates, now I've made this template, and it's real easy to make them. And if you need a template, you can either make it yourself or call me. So I'm going to add timesheet to this. Here's the timesheet. Now the cool thing about the timesheet is the student, instead of sending you a weekly timesheet every week, they can actually use this timesheet and fill it out. So when they come in, they can put the date in, which is 8/25, and tab it. So it works just like the regular timesheet. So I've got all the weeks all set up here, so all they have to do is fill out their week and then just close it. And when they close it, it automatically updates mine, so I can open up mine, which is, this is actually mine here, and it will have their information updated. Okay, so now this student is AIPB. So for AIPB, they need to have accounting 1, accounting 2, QuickBooks. So what we're going to do is we're just going to name off tabs here. So this one is accounting 1. Okay, and the next tab is going to be accounting 2. The next one is QuickBooks. The next one is going to be emails, because we can actually move emails and other communications over here. And I'm actually, on this one, I'm going to go ahead and put communications. The nice thing about this is if you get a voicemail, for instance, from a student, you can actually drag that voicemail right into the communications, and you can save them that way too. So you can save anything you want in here. Okay, and then I'm going to put, oop, I used an and there, so I have to change that. We're going to do it again. So we're going to rename this. I think I can use a comma. Yep, that works. Okay, and this one I'm going to rename counselor. Okay, now the cool thing about this is that I can actually password protect any of these things, so that, for instance, if I have a link to the counselor, which, you know, it's file share and then put the counselor's email address in, I can actually send the counselor a password protected link to this particular one, so the student can't view it, but the counselor can. So on this one, I have to hit enter first, and then I can password protect this section, and I'm going to set the password, and I'm going to do OSC, except that I want to do all caps here. OSC Donna. Okay, so when I send a message to the counselor, I give the counselor the password, so that when they click on that counselor tab, they can view it. They can put in the password and view it, but the student can't view it. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move this to the front so that it's the very first thing. So if I click on counselor, now I don't have to do it myself, because what happened here? I've got it two places. I've got it three places. Wow, that's interesting. Let's get rid of that one. Okay, we're good. All right, so we've done syllabus, we've done timesheet, now we're in accounting. There are specific chapters in accounting, so I can name the chapters. I don't do that. What I do is I wait until they do their first chapter, and then I come in and I put the grade in. So let's say the grade was 97%, and then I put chapter 1. And then what I do is I go up to insert, and for me I do a screen clipping, and then I can actually screen clip their results and put it right into their page. Now obviously I just did a screen clipping on my other desktop, and that's not what it is, but this is just for show. Okay, so you can actually screen clip, you can actually drag and drop, you can put in a spreadsheet. The other thing you can do is I have Learning Tools set up, so I can actually dictate, and it takes a moment to do that sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't do it at all. Yeah, it's thinking. But I can dictate, so if I want to leave a message in here, I can do that. Now remember, the student, because they can edit, they can also make their comments, and I'll show you what I do. Now I don't usually do that with this one, but let's go ahead and delete this one, and I've kind of locked things up with that dictate. It's still thinking. Oh, it wants me to sign in. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this, and I'm just going to delete this page because I don't really want that page here. Okay, so where was I? We were talking about adding formats. Now, one of the things that I can do too, so let's add a page. Let's see, I want, you've got a Word Excel student and you want to do a template for their chapter work. again, you can make templates, and I do have a template made up for chapter. So if I click on chapter, here's my chapter template. So it gives the chapter, the homework, today's grades, important points to review, summary, and then the student's comment. The student can come in here and type their own comments, and when they're done, all they have to do is just close it, and it automatically uploads to my OneNote, so I can actually see their comment. The nice thing about this is that, well, there's a couple of nice things. First of all, it's a SharePoint for both the instructor, the student, and the counselor. So the instructor can post scores today, and the student can review their scores today. The counselor can review any comments or any chapter work that the student is doing immediately. They don't have to wait. The other cool thing is the timesheet. Right now we're depending on the student to post the timesheet, once a week for a distance student on Monday or Tuesday or whenever. The nice thing about this is that the student can actually do that here on a daily basis, and I'll give you an example of what that looks like in real life. Here's Laura. Here's her timesheet. See if it opens up Laura's timesheet. So Laura's posted her times for Monday the 22nd. So it's already done for Monday. Today's Thursday. Now she hasn't posted any scores for the rest of the week. Now Laura is a full-time employee. She works for a company, so she does most of her work in the evening and on weekends, so I don't expect to see much during the week on this. So what I do is I open this up on Monday. I view what their posted times in. I go into the database, I enter that, and then I just come over here to what it is. So I'll highlight it. So I posted these, so I highlighted them in yellow. So I just go like that. I click on draw. I click like so, and I can highlight. So it's done. Okay, I know that I posted it. Now, I know what I haven't posted because you can see it. I haven't posted this week's at all. Okay, let's see. QuickBooks looks like this. So on the right hand side, you can see that she's done all the way through her QuickBooks. If I want to look at something, all I have to do is click on it. Okay, here's her skills tester. And I could actually open that up and take a screenshot of it, but that takes a lot of space. What I do is I just drop the file right there. Okay, my comments, I was able to do check and count, so I leave her comment. Okay, this is what it looks like for a quiz. The cool thing about this is, let's say, for instance, right now they got 13 out of 14, 93%. Let's say they got 100%. So if I've still got this on draw. If I come in here, watch what I can do. I can come up here and backspace that X. And then I can come up here to the 13 out of 14, backspace that once, make that 14. And I can go to the end of that, press the equals button and the enter button, and it gives me a score. Now, if I get 14 out of 14, my score is 100%. It only shows a 1, but we know that's 100%. So we can actually do math right on OneNote as well. So when you're scoring, all you have to do is, let's say they get 12 out of 14. 12 divided by 14. And you notice I'm just typing on QuickBooks equals and then the space bar, and it gives me 87.7571%. So I'd come up here on this one and I'd type 87%. And let's say I want to highlight that, so I can highlight it in green by pressing Control and the % key, or I can change that to yellow, or I can put a question mark in, or I can put all sorts of stuff in there. So there's a lot of stuff you can do here. I'm just backing this up so it doesn't there we go. Now it's back to its original. So a lot of cool stuff. One of the other things that it will do is if you click on Learning Tools and you click on Immersive Reader, and it opens up a reader for you. So if you put an article in and you want the student to read and they're a slow reader, you can actually have them open up the reader and just
Subject.
read it. And it will
FW,
actually
results
read
for
it for you,
2015 QB quiz.
which is really cool. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can put links in, you can put redirects in, you can do all sorts of other things with that, and it just makes it a cool place. Now, it doesn't replace the database. You still have to take your information and put it in the database. But this is what I do. Let's see, let's start off with this one. Do I have any files here that I can move? I'm just checking my students and seeing if they've got any files. Okay, so I don't there. Christina has a file. Okay, here's a file for chapter 3. Now I've already moved this, but what I can do is just drag this file right over the top of the QuickBooks in the area that she wants, and then I can right click it and insert spreadsheet. So this is what it looks like when I do that. So we go to Christina. This is what chapter work looks like in Applia. This is taken right off the Applia screen, and I used a screenshot for that, so they get the percentage, the chapter, and then their individual scores for each section, so they can actually see what sections they did well on and what sections they didn't. But let's go to math here. Okay, so here's the math. This is what it looks like when you insert the spreadsheet from a file. You can actually go in and grade this right on this spreadsheet too, which is easier than doing it from this kind of file, because on this one you have to insert comment, and then each one you have to click, go back and forth and click. But if you do it in OneNote, it's a one-click deal. So I can actually come in here, click draw, pick the color I want. So I can pick green, for instance, and highlight that. It's that easy. Then all I have to do is scroll through and count up my errors, which makes it easy. Now this, where it says hi Christina, you really have to watch where your decimal points are, etc. That I did with dictation, so I didn't have to type all that in. I used dictation for that. A lot of stuff, but my point is, from here you still have to open up the database and post this score. Okay, and the nice thing about other things is if you go into Outlook, for instance, and you click on maximize so you can see this, and let's go to student and see if we've got any student. Oh, here's a Kim file. I click Kim, and I want to send, who is this for? Let's dismiss that. Okay, this is Justin Henry, and it's for chapter 16. So I'm going to right click this. I'm going to go to OneNote. I'm going to go down to Justin. He's already on my list. And I'm going to go to QuickBooks, And here's all my stuff for QuickBooks, but because this is a new chapter, I'm just going to click the QuickBooks itself. I'm going to say OK. It opens up right to QuickBooks results for Chapter 16, and it's there. So now all I have to do is go in and grade this, regrade it to make sure it's correct, and then I can post that score. Now let's say I don't want to do that today, I want to do it later. So I'm going to click on New Tab, and I made this tab. I could call it anything. And I'm going to put it back on my Outlook taskbar, and I'm going to grade it today. And then I can close this. Now if I go to my tasks, on here, now you can see that I use this a lot because these are all tasks that I haven't done. So these show the tasks that I still need to complete. So if I double click on that, and I double click on this one, and I say open, again it takes me to OneNote. Now this particular one is Gracie's, and it's actually done. I really need to take the task off here so that it doesn't keep showing up. So let me close that and say complete. Okay, so I just marked it complete. Let's go to this next one. That's chapter 12. Open it up, take a look. Okay, this one was graded, but I didn't mark it. So see that red flag there? All I need to do is click that red flag. And why isn't it not seeing that task? Today. Oh, there it goes. So now it's marked complete. So it actually takes it out of the taskbar. So now it's complete. It means it's done. You know, I've posted it. This now says completed. I can close it, move on to the next task. So these are all in OneNote, so it makes it real easy for me because I can mark them and do them if I don't have time to do it right now, but I need to do it later on. You know, I've got that task on my bar that I can go to. And like I said, I use it a lot, so you can see all these tasks. It just makes things easy, and that's what we're trying to do, is make things easy for us. Okay, so if you have any questions about this, please feel free, give me a call. I can help you with any specifics. Otherwise, have a great day.